Welcome viewers to a very snowy Zions Bank Stadium here in Harriman, Utah. For round 7 of the Major League Rugby competition. The hosts, the Utah Warriors, take on Rugby United New York in what should be a thrilling match. I'm Mark Stabita. Joining me, Johnny Linehan, BYU rugby football legend. He's here to call the game tonight. What we do, we're actually just going to run through some of the basics of rugby. We have a lot of new rugby viewers all over the nation and all over the world, and we're just going to run through a bit of Rugby 101 to help with some of the basic rules tonight. Well, if we have a look, there's 15 active players per game on each team, with 8 substitutes or reserves that can come on at any time of the match.
The beautiful thing about rugby is everybody can play offense, everyone can play defense.
There's 5 ways to score. You can score a try worth 5 points, conversion versus the 2, penalty kick worth 3 points, a drop goal from anywhere worth 3 points as well, and a penalty try, which is an automatic 7 points.
And something unique to rugby is you can't pass the ball forward. It has to either go lateral or backwards.
And it's a continuous type of game, this game of rugby. Different to football, if you want to compare it to that, where if someone is tackled, the game stops, and then they get to start again. Well, with rugby, it's continuous. When someone gets tackled, anyone can go for the ball. So, we hope that helps with some of the basics of rugby. We'll be explaining the laws as much as possible tonight. But you are in for a thrilling match. Don't go anywhere. Join us after the break as we have the lineups for both of the teams. Tonight's game is brought to you by Magna's Irish Cider, the official hard cider of New York's professional rugby franchise. Motion PT, get back what moves you. Visit motionpt.com to find a physical therapy location near you. And Tourism LA, Louisiana Tourism. Don't just live the moment, be the moment. Visit louisianatourism.com to plan your trip today. Auto Source, Big D, Embassy Suites, and Nui.
Hey there, rugby fans. Did you ever get bullied for being one of the only lovers of the sport? Well, now everyone will want to jump on the bandwagon. Go to warriorsrugby.vote to enter any of the polls and contests. Leave your email, first and last name, and boom! You are entered for a chance to win 2 round-trip tickets to Japan for this year's Rugby World Cup. Hurry!
Hi, I'm Ned Siegfried. Siegfried & Jensen has been handling injury cases in Utah for over 30 years. In addition to our main office in Salt Lake, we have recently opened offices for your convenience in Ogden, Provo, and St. George. Even though most business these days is done online, we really enjoy meeting our clients in person whenever possible. If you've had the misfortune of being injured, call us. We can probably tell you right on the phone whether or not you have a case.
Tooele. humble beginnings to unlimited tomorrows. It's a bold new day in Tooele. So much, so close. For more information, contact us at tooelevalley.org.
Welcome back, viewers. We are coming at you live from Zions Bank Stadium in Harriman, Utah. It's a snowy evening tonight for round 7 of the Major League Rugby competition. We have the Utah Warriors hosting RUNY. Look at this forward pack, an unchanged forward pack from last week with some big names and big hitters in this pack. Look for John Cullen, number 8 and vice captain, to lead the charge tonight.
And in the back line for the Utah Warriors, the keys to this matchup is number 10, James Semple, and number 12, Tim O'Malley. Both have fly half experience, so they can add extra options on both sides of the ruck.
And the visitors, New York United, RUNY, their forward pack caused all sorts of troubles for Houston. Keep an eye out for Matthew Houston. What a great acquisition he is from NOLA from last season with all his defensive efforts. And Ross Deacon, the powerhouse, he'll be up for it tonight with plenty of ball carries.
And for the back line, look out for both wingers, Wallace Sims and Derek Lipscomb. Last week, Utah got caught out wide, and these wingers could cash in on this snowy evening for RUNY.
Both reserves, the substitutes, the finishers of this match, they're going to be all important. Plenty of good names, a lot of pace, especially in that Utah Warriors team. They want to stay warm on the sideline tonight because it's a chilly one as the snow continues to fall. You can see that on the screen now. Of course, the man in the middle, our referee for tonight, Luke Rogan from Oz. Another Aussie taking over here. Warm and keep the breaks to a minimum as well.
Looking at the keys to victory for Utah, they've got to finish the game. They've failed to get this win in these last 2 matches. They'll also want to make sure that they unleash this back 3. They're explosive. They need to get them the ball and also be disciplined. Last week had 2 yellow cards.
We have kickoff already and a charge down on the home team. Rugby United trying to make their way out from their red zone. It's a hurried kick from Foden. And it will be a line out. A good start, just what they wanted from the Utah Warriors. See that snow falling. It is falling at an angle as well. It just shows you the strength of this breeze coming straight down the park toward the Jumbotron. Couldn't tell you what direction that is. I'm a little disoriented here. But expect to see Utah use that to their advantage in this first half. And this is a big feature of their game as well, the rolling maul. It's worked well for them. Luke Rogan has his arm out, playing advantage. Spotted a little infringement there from RUNY as it comes out through the hands of the back line. Whippy whips it out, but it's too far in front. Goes over the sideline. Referee playing advantage, so it'll come back to that infringement at the rolling maul.
Yeah, the great thing about advantage there is you can get a little bit risky. You can start to spin it wide and knowing you have that safety net in the back pocket. So they did that. It didn't work out, but they'll come back for a penalty. Now, it'll be interesting to see here because they have a few options. They can either kick it towards out of bounds or into touch, we like to say, and take a line out, or they can kick towards the post and take a shot at goal, which is worth 3 points.
Just joining us, viewers, welcome to a very chilly, snowy evening here at Zions Bank Stadium in Utah. I'm Mark Stabina, joining me, Johnny Lenehan, Utah legend in these parts.
Oh, take it easy.
No, I will not. I will not downplay your achievements. BYU, rugby, All-American, 3 years in a row, I believe. And you were also punter for the football team. That is impressive.
Yeah, got a little bit soft in my older years, so went to a little bit of an easier sport.
It's a pleasure to have you here in the booth tonight, Johnny, with all your expert analysis, particularly with backline play former 9 and 10 with me in the booth. We won't be talking much about the forwards at all. But speaking of the forwards, line-out win for Utah, prime position for them. Can they get the start that they dearly need against this quality outfit from New York? Again, the rolling maul. It's broken free, coming back, strong defense coming in from New York, still going. Meters out from the try line. Looking for the first try of the match is the home team. And Ian Luciano digs in there. He's a late call-up. Was on the bench. And gets his start tonight in a big match. Crucial game for the Warriors. Daniels tries his best. He is halted short of the line. Williams held up, slower ball now, comes out down the same way. The short side for Utah. They're going to keep battering away at this New York defense. Marshalling his troops now, Luciano. Reinforcements come in. Picked from the back by Jensen. Luciano. Now it comes out through the backs. That's Msangalu. Out wide, brought down. Quick hands. Out to the number 10 now and to Vainicolo. James Semple it was who fed Vainicolo. Nowhere to go. New York know that he's a danger man. Whippy attacking the line. Getting involved early. Semple puts it on the toe. Bobbles around. Found some ankles of the New York players and they'll come up with it. So an opportunity goes begging for Utah. As New York now will settle things down into the teeth of the breeze. And Foden again under pressure. That won't go out. It's a tough catch and that's well caught. Now back. Isalingalu has to clean up. He does just that. Bring it up now to the 40-meter line of RUNY, Rugby United New York, the visitors. Have to deal with a barrage of black jerseys. Coming back the other way now. That's Jensen. Luciano. Playing well already. Once again, he was a late replacement for this game. Well, we have a break. It was a knock on there, Johnny, and see that take. Brilliant take there over the shoulder.
Yeah, great take there by Ada Alkington. Then trying to pass it backwards. But it's interesting to know as RUNY, they tried to clear, which was the right thing. But that breeze is so stiff, it got caught up. So that's going to play a huge factor both ways. So right now, RUNY has to control that dominance.
We look at the keys to victory for RUNY. They just got to do what they've been doing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Great play last week in the forwards and the kicking game of Cahill Marsh combining with the number 10, Mike Petrie, will be key to this match if they're going to win. And they just have to contain Utah's strong forwards. We've already seen their rolling mauls, which has been a feature of their game. New York can cover all those areas, and they're in a good chance for victory tonight. And yet another break. We don't want, well, we're okay up here, but I'm sure the players don't want too many of these long breaks. Resetting scrums all the time. As the skipper for New York, Mike Petrie feeds. Coming to the back. Miss pass. Oh, and it's straight through. Great break from the number 12. Finds his center partner, Matina. So an early break of the line. Back on the inside,
ball.
Beautiful pass. Just like that, Rugby United New York are on the board and score the first try of the match.
How explosive is that? That's exactly what you want your number 10 doing. Take a bow, Cahill Marsh. He set the break initially, as I'm sure we'll see on this replay, and then he got right back in it and fed the ball on the inside. Watch this. He takes the line on early. Great thing about playing in snow, everyone's cold, your hands are numb. He tests the early defense of the Warriors, finds a half gap, goes all the way through. Then quick ball here from RUNY. And then the great misdirection inside ball. And there is your try scorer. One of the wingers we spoke about, Connor Wallace-Sims. Could be a busy night on this cold evening.
Yes, brilliant try. Came so quickly after one of their only opportunities with the ball. New York have hit immediately. That will hurt Utah, but they didn't expect that so early. As we see Chris Mattina taking the kicking duties for this first one, and straight through the posts. That's successful, so he adds another 2 points to the tally of New York. 7 points to 0 in favor of the visitors here at Zions Bank Stadium. Only 8 minutes and 30 seconds gone in this match. It was all Utah for the first 8 minutes, I would say. This last 30 seconds has been all about the men from New York.
Yeah, that's a kick in the teeth, so now the Warriors have to respond. That's essentially a try on their real first possession of the game that they're able to control, so that's a big momentum blow.
And the restart by the captain, Timothy O'Malley, sends it deep. And why wouldn't you? Just try and camp New York down deep in their territory, try and make them work it out in this extremely strong breeze. As you said, that is a kick in the teeth there, Johnny, because having the breeze behind you, putting all the pressure on, having all the territory and the possession, only just to give it up and give up 7 points. Not the start that Utah were looking for. Cullen brings it down. Here comes that driving maul from the Warriors. New York really need to do their best to negate the drive of the big man in black.
Great
and you see it breaking through, still going. What can they do with it now, Utah? One out. Vandenberg. Well met. Coming over the top there. Could be a penalty. And it looks like it's intercepted, and it is another blow for Utah. Will he be run down or will he go all the way? That's Mark O'Keefe, and he has broken some hearts here. Unbelievable stuff.
The referee's slow to give this one. Looks like he wants to have a word with the assistant referee.
Wow. Sensational here, controversial as well. And he gives the try. So back-to-back scores for Rugby United New York.
Well, heartbreaker there as we see Luciano pick it up, scramble around, took a little too long, and then tried to fire it wide. And then O'Keefe was able to get his hand on it. Slippery conditions, great grab. And then he was able to outrun Captain Tim O'Malley of the Warriors and dots down. 12-0 against the run of play. RUNY take the early lead.
Wow, can you believe it? That is, as we said, not what Utah needed, not what they were looking for. They have the advantage of the breeze. They had the advantage of possession and territory. That was just somewhat careless. Let's not downplay the effort of and anticipation of Mark O'Keefe to spot that long pass. It was Ian Luciano from the base, trying to find one of his runners out a little bit wider. They were lined up as the conversion comes up, and it's good again into the breeze. So making the most of their limited opportunities here, New York. Like we had an early substitution, Johnny. You see on the screen now, number 22. That's Mike St. Clair replacing Cahill Marsh, their big playmaker. Hopefully he's okay. Pivotal part of New York's attack as the restart goes deep yet again. New York coming out of the red zone. Some strong running. Look to do that again and give Foden every opportunity to get rid of the ball. Could be a box kick. Petrie straight to the air, and it holds up in that breeze. Comes down on New York's side. That's play on. Well done by them to regather. And that is a brilliant drive from the replacement. St. Clair getting an early touch. And now coming back down the short side. They are making their intentions felt here in Utah. New York looking right at home. And the kick through will be cleaned up. That's Williams. Counter-attack for Utah. It's a wild pass over the top. Finds the mark. That's Vainicolo. Heavily marked. No, it looked like Misai Ngalu. Keeps it in miraculously. Williams heavily involved in this first half. Ball goes out in front from Luciano. Through the legs, Fijian style. Now that found Lauti out wide now. Using the width. Back in, Vandenberg. He's had a couple of touches. Penalty to Utah, not rolling away. So that's just what they needed now.
Yeah, to go back to that replacement, we got St. Clair already come on, made a couple tackles, and then a good run. But Kahal Marsh, before the game, I saw him getting taped up on his knee. I believe it was his right knee. So let's hope he's okay. We saw him at the start after setting up that try. He wasn't able to take that conversion. And Martina's done a phenomenal job replacing those normal kicking duties. But that could be a change that could pay dividends.
And we see a penalty given for the tackler not rolling away. We mentioned it's a continuous game to our newer viewers to rugby. So, Johnny, just maybe want to explain why that penalty was given.
Yeah, so not rolling away when you make a tackle. Because it is a continuous game, we don't want anyone trying to slow the ball down or getting in the way. So you have to do your best to make a tackle and then get back into a position where you can make an offensive play on the ball. And so if you lay on the ground, restricting that ball from coming out of the ruck, then you will get penalized.
You can see it right there, right on cue. As Johnny explained it to us, we have Utah with a line-out throw and the breeze behind them. Big man Vainicolo on your screen. That looked like a knock-on, and it was. So Utah squandering opportunity after opportunity here.
Yeah, it's just messy early on, Mark, isn't it? They started off so well. Those first 8 minutes, they controlled it. For the majority, they were inside the 22 until that one break in play from RUNY. But they were patient. They were building up phases. Now we're seeing them getting a little bit more wild, probably a little bit frantic. There's a lot of game left, still 65 minutes left to play. There's no need to do those between the legs passes, those hurry up balls. Just settle down, build some phases, get some points, and you'll find your way back in it.
And Johnny, psychologically, I'm sure that it can be easy to slip into a mindset of complacency when you have such a breeze behind you. You see the scrum feed now. Back on the side of New York. Nearly a breakout again from the back line. O'Keefe, he's been dangerous tonight. Now comes through Martina to one of his forward runners. Keeping the handling errors to a minimum here, RUNY. Foden gets an early touch apart from a kick. Replacement, St. Clair. He's done well since coming on. Petrie. Into one of the big men in the middle. Back down the short side, Petrie spots some space, puts it over the head. Can't bring it in initially, Whippy. Gets it on the second attempt. Has a crack, beats the first defender. Brings it back in, brilliant play. Josh Whippy. Luciano. Coming out to Semple. Now to the number 12, O'Malley, and captain. Sends it long with the breeze behind him. The back three of RUNY set themselves deep. And oh, what a clash in the air, and it's come down. It's backwards, says the referee. So RUNY maintaining possession. Long passage of play here. Through the back pass, now through the hands. It's good play. That's a big hit from Sayauhila. These big men from Utah, they certainly know how to make an impact in defense. It's RUNY at the moment making the breaks as they have some space to the left. Foden comes in, injecting himself yet again. Ball bounced off the chest. It's gone forward, so counter-attack. And that is a great kick straight down the field. Nobody home. Wallace Sims has to get back and clean it up, as we have some Utah players giving chase. Gets it away. Under pressure now, New York.
It's
Utah
dangerous.
need to keep them down this part of the field. Possibly turn it over. They trail by 14 points to 0. Nearly 18 minutes gone already. And now back for the kick. That is not a bad effort into the breeze. So, staying alive, RUNY, under the onslaught of this Utah attack, who are desperate to get on the board.
Yeah, well, we see the great use of that wind, that kick, almost going within 5 meters of the goal line. Then RUNY's trying to weather the storm, quite literally, you know, before they get this wind. And they're doing a really good job. They have the early lead. They're playing great rugby. Now they just have to keep the Warriors out while they have the wind behind them.
And the snow appears to have eased up somewhat. Still snowing. Just not as heavily as before. Another successful line out. Utah, the home team. Really, this is a crunch match for them tonight. 1 win, 1 draw, 2 losses so far in their 4 games. They seem to have given that one up again, so a turnover. It will be New York's ball and scrum feed.
Yeah, well, New York doing a great job of capitalizing on what the Warriors have been so good at early on in the season. And there is a turnover scrum for RUNY here, because as the Warriors went up, they were able to get that ball from the line out. They were able to take it into a maul, but then you'll hear the referee saying, hey, you have 5 seconds to use it. You got to use it or lose it, is the saying. And since they didn't go anywhere with it, it went to ground. The ball became unplayable. They didn't use the ball, so they lost it. So it's a turnover scrum for RUNY.
And once again, we have Mike Petrie, number 9 for New York, and captain today, 34 years of age. One of the most celebrated US Eagles. 57 caps for his country. What a wealth of knowledge and experience that he adds to this RUNY team. And it's same way for New York. Going through again. That's an easy run for the prop. Same way for Rugby United New York. Foden injects again. Feeds his number 11, Wallace Sims. Proves tricky to put down. Making easy yards on Utah now is New York. And beautiful hands out to Rochford. Same way, keeping the ball alive well is New York. Wonderful interchange of passing. That one goes astray and goes over the sideline, fortunately for Utah.
Yeah, they got lucky there with the scrambling defense. RUNY doing a great job of getting over the advantage line. So we see the ball coming out, and then it just goes over the top. And on this slippery turf, it just scoots on out. So the Warriors will have a line out.
And that concludes the first quarter. We're going to have a short break as the players get their hydration in.
All that's left to me is beating in this guitar. Every night a different town, she follows me around. So you get what's left of me. Yeah, you get what's left of me. 'Cause it feels like a party. It feels like a damn good time to me. A bunch of country girls and back row boys all here to drink and sing.
Hi, I'm Ned Siegfried. Siegfried & Jensen's been handling injury cases in Utah for over 30 years. In addition to our main office in Salt Lake, we have recently opened offices for your convenience in Ogden, Provo, and St. George. Even though most business these days is done online, we really enjoy meeting our clients in person whenever possible. If you've had the misfortune of being injured, call us. We can probably tell you right on the phone whether or not you have a case.
And we're back, viewers. Welcome to Zions Bank Stadium here in Utah. It's round 7 of the Major League Rugby competition, and sensational scenes here. We know that Rugby United of New York have been touted as favourites of this match, but you would not have guessed that they would score 14 quick-fire points into the teeth of this strong breeze. And there's some snow as well as Foden tries to add more snow in the atmosphere by sending that one sky high. It's well caught by Semple, who sends it long. It might be a little bit too far as the ball props up. And did it stay in the field of play? That was well done. What a kick and very fortuitous bounce, forcing New York to just clear their line. So that's a great gain for Utah.
Yeah, perfect gain. And now they have the line out. Familiar scenes, though. They've been down here a lot early on in this game and haven't capitalized on it. So if anything, they need some momentum. They need to score at least 3 points down here this time.
Let's see what Utah can do with this line-out throw. They've had plenty of possession. This is the kind of territory that they've had also for much of this game. We're into the second quarter of the match. Cullen brings it down once again. It's a very flat pass. Can't quite contain it. He nearly went through O'Malley. He's coughed it up. Things just aren't going in favor of the hosts, the Utah Warriors. And they would be wanting to get some scores on the board and make the most of this breeze behind them. It will be like a mountain to climb in the second half as New York just squeaked that one away. Comes down now for Vainicolo, the danger man, heavily marked, forces him to put ball to boot, sends it straight down to Ben Foden. Arguably one of the biggest signings of the Major League Rugby season this season. England international, played 34 games for his country, 33 years of age, plenty of experience and still plenty of legs left, Johnny.
Yeah, great nudge there into this breeze. He's able to get it inside Utah's territory. So again, Utah, you know, not taking care of the pill. Started with a sloppy pass from the base from Luciano, and then Captain O'Malley wasn't able to scoop it up, and it got spilled, and Utah's going to have to clean that up if they want to get back in this game.
Logan Daniels to throw it in. Sends it high and long toward the back. It's well brought in by Jensen. Another wild pass by Luciano. He was brought up last minute into this game. Big occasion for him. He seems to be a little nervous as well. Not ideal conditions for a scrum half. I do feel for him as John Cullen charges forward. Vice captain for the season. Now back from Luciano to Semple. He'll piggyback the breeze and send it straight down the throat of the number 14, Derek Lipscomb. Petrie comes in quickly, so quick to the ball. He ensures good
numbers out left here.
Definitely a lot of numbers here. And will they use it? New York, they're putting it through the hands, coming back in. Inside, strong defense from Utah, but they are making the gain line here, New York. Keeping ball in hand. Again, their handling has been superb. One out pass now, taking on the line. Strong tackles. It was a two-man tackle on that occasion. So Petrie slows things down, brings it back down that left-hand side. Another big tackle, but they're able to get it away. Keeping the ball alive well is New York. And this could be yet another try should he go all the way. Desperate tackle by Lauti. But it's all New York at the moment, keeping it in. That's St. Clair, the replacement. Goes back. Petrie finds Fawcett. Still going Fawcett. Lays it back. Petrie, quick to the ball. Quick hands from the forwards. It's been a feature of their play tonight. Sullivan driven backwards. Petrie to Cassidy. Out through the hands again. Finds O'Keefe, the try scorer. Petrie now. Denise. Just keeping it very simple, no frills rugby, New York. And why not in these conditions? Still going. They're making inroads on this Utah defense. They're meters from the line, New York. Such a strong outfit. Again, Petrie wants it slow. Brings all the forwards in. They'll pick and drive. They'll have to hold firm here, Utah, to avoid another 5-pointer. Nearly 5 meters from the try line now, New York. Taking their time. Ensuring that they don't make any mistakes. 3 meters from the line, New York. Still going. Pick and drive. Is he over the line? Oh, he's about inches short. Diving over. Was it another try? Utah are holding on by the skin of their teeth. It should be a matter of time. Foden comes in and throws his weight in from the back. He's had enough getting cold at the back there, and he might have just done it. That's a try to Rugby New York. Well deserved as well. They put the pressure on, and it wasn't Foden. It was the number 7, James Denise, who finally dotted over a well-worked try and a well-deserved 5 points, Johnny.
Yeah, well, the build-up was what caused this. Like, they put together over 20 phases in this, and then just the forwards. This is a great forwards try, taking their turn, pick and go, pick and go. The Warriors initially did a good job holding on, but wet conditions, Denise was able to just slide on over and get another 5 and surely 7 points for New York.
Well, they're just showing their class, aren't they, Johnny? New York here. I mean, they are into the breeze as well. They're just knowing how to play these conditions, not phased at all. And it's the accuracy of their play that has really impressed me. They're not making any mistakes. They're keeping ball in hand. And that's why they're putting 20 phases together and putting so much pressure on this Utah defense.
Yeah, very lethal. And it's nothing new. If you've been following Major League Rugby this year, this is why this Rugby United New York team is, you know, a champion contender, really. They've won 3, lost 1 in their 4 outings. They're a dominant team, and they are lethal.
And the extras are posted. Successful kick there, a mere formality in front of the posts. So that extends the lead to 21 points to 0 in favor of the visitors over the Utah Warriors, who are hosting. And we're desperately in need of a win tonight. Game is far from over, but Utah certainly need to pick up their heads. They do not want to go into the break with this kind of score margin, particularly coming back out of the sheds with the breeze blowing into their face. And that's a huge kick from Foden into the breeze. Is the breeze as strong as we're making it out to be? Because New York seem to be doing very well into this win, Johnny.
Yeah, up here in Harriman, it's actually really beautiful, but it is up on a hill, so it is a bit of a wind tunnel. So it really doesn't matter how windy, what the conditions are outside. It is always extra breezy up here on top of this hill. But the good news is the snow has lightened up.
So Utah with the line-out throw. Nearly 40 meters to the coveted try line. Luciano, not many options. He's under a lot of pressure. The ball squirts out the back. They've lost a good 20 meters and also possession because it's gone over the sideline. So once again, Utah just not finding the answers.
Yeah, that's a huge effort. If you've been paying close attention to the lineouts, RUNY's actually, they haven't contested most of the lineouts close to their goal line because of how dominant Utah are in the forward pack. But these ones up near midfield and inside the attacking third for RUNY, they've contested. They've started to disrupt the Utah Warriors lineout, and that's why they've got the go forward here and the lineout.
So New York with the throw. Utah are going to need something special. Need to disrupt this powerhouse offense of New York. Very simple play as they drive. Very ambitious, taking on a forward pack like Utah in this manner. Now it comes out through the back line of RUNY. That's St. Clair, heavily involved, still going. Hard man to put down. Petrie straight onto the ball and out to his forward runners. That's Houston with some help. Gains some more valuable meters. Back on the inside, using that inside pass nicely. And the big man, the number 8, Deacon, charges forward. Petrie straight there as always. Keeping the ball alive, New York. This could be another try and a bonus point try before half time. But Utah still holding on for dear life. Scrambling defense. Maintaining possession well is New York. Nearly up to 5 meters from the line and now over 5 meters. They're a couple of meters out from the try line. Out through the hands. Simple play, 1-out stuff for New York. They see the try line in sight. Might go left. Foden is behind the ruck. They're a meter from the line. Will they use the forwards or head out the backs to the left-hand side? Pick and driving. Exhausting stuff for Utah. New York know exactly what they're doing. 3 tries to 0 right now, but the referee is playing advantage. He's going to bring it back. Well, exciting stuff. And Utah are just hanging on by the skin of their teeth, Johnny.
Yeah, well, RUNY, you know, they're a new team in this MLR, but they have so many veterans of the game, and they're showing it tonight. They make a half gap. They go through, get over the advantage line, and then they don't panic. They settle down, wait for the next opportunity, and they'll have an attacking scrum from 5 meters out.
Yeah, you can just look at the body language of Utah. They look shell-shocked right now, not to mention exhausted. Defending and defending and defending like that. The pace of the game that New York plays with, it's so hard for the Utah defense to get themselves back into defensive alignment.
Yeah, it's impressive. They slow it down when they're on defense, so they don't give Utah any chance to build momentum, and then they pick it back up on the offense. And, you know, they've proved to be very lethal tonight, and in these conditions, that's just extraordinary.
Certainly is, Johnny. So we have a little break in play. Somebody needs some attention. Looks like it might be a New York player as well. And this is good for Utah. I think they needed a little breather just to compose themselves. Prepare for a big shove in this scrum. Try and upset New York however they can.
You know, credit to the fans that have showed out in these. I think it's about 30 degrees outside, but there's still a good amount of fans. You can hear some of the cowbells that they gave out. Supporting the Warriors. That's Utah. This is a rugby mad state, and they love the game, and they support it no matter what conditions. So huge credit to them. And if you're watching from home, it's unfortunate you can't join us.
We have number 20 for New York, Alex McDonald, coming on the field for James Denise, the number 7. And I can't be sure of this, but it may be a blood bin. He had some blood coming out of the nose. He'll have some time to have that sorted out. 10 minutes to sort that bleeding out if he is to return. So it's just been confirmed. There's a blood sub for New York. James Denise coming off, blood coming from the nose. So he'll be attended to. While Alex McDonald gets a shot, the 25-year-old from Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. Actually attended Trinity College in Dublin. 2 times collegiate All-American as well. Degree in business administration. Clever cookie. Alex McDonald, let's see what he can do in this scrum as New York looking ominous right now. Utah need something. Under 8 minutes to play. Not so much as a single point on the board for the hosts as they've screwed that scrum. Arm goes out. Petrie, Fiji style, goes out. What about the play and the class of this New York team as they go into the corner? Foden injecting. Wow, what a try. And that is a bonus point try. 4 tries for New York. And Warriors have yet to answer.
Well, we spoke about the forward pack being dominant, you know, but check out, you know, even though they had advantage, check out these hands from St. Clair to scoop it up off the ground, and then the hands and the finish in the corner. What a beautiful dot down there for RUNY, and the bonus point early on. That's Lipscomb. Both wingers have dotted down with tries this evening, and no doubt. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Wallace Sims. So it looks like he must have picked up his 2nd try of the night.
Wallace Sims. Yes, indeed. Both wingers very active. Wallace Sims in the corner. Hard to tell the players with this snow and the numbers on their back. We're doing our best.
Yeah, well, Utah has leaked points to the left winger last week. Feeks was able to pick up a hat trick on the left wing. This week already 2 here for Wallace Sims. Can he pick up another one?
It was a valiant effort for the conversion. Unsuccessful, however, so the score remains 26 points to 0 under 6 minutes to play. And Utah are not quite sure what has hit them in this first stanza. Again, some great support here from the locals, braving the conditions. It's 2 weeks in a row for them. They've had to sit in the snow and wind. They've witnessed some fantastic rugby in the last couple of weeks by their team. Unlucky on many occasions. Although they are receiving a rugby lesson tonight. Johnny, what does Utah need to do from this moment forth?
Well, this is uncharted territory, because even though these last 2 games they came away with a draw and a loss in the dying minutes, they've usually been leading these games. So they're, you know, this is a unique situation for them to be behind, and not just be behind, but behind by so much. So they just need to get on the board, get that 0 out of their name, then they'll be fine.
So putting it through the hands of the back line now. Lauti coming in, Whippy straightening up the attack, keeps the ball alive. Lauti, the hot stepper. Oh, the ball squirts out again. This is what's been happening all night for Utah. In contrast to New York, who have been holding on to everything as if the ball was made of gold. That ball slithers over the sideline from Foden. Now we have the Warriors just inside their half with the line-out throw. Taking their time, a little bit of strategy between the forward pack as Daniels finally comes over to throw it in. Originally from New Zealand, Logan Daniels. Luciano, wide pass, now out the back. Nice play, and that's a beautiful pass from Semple. Oh, that looked like, looked high, but it just was ragdolled to the ground. It was Lauti. And now Utah, can they do something in this last 4 minutes of play? The inside pass, it's worked well for New York. Misali Nalu, quick hands now, Semple out to O'Malley, the captain. He's well brought down, the counter-attack coming in as well. At the breakdown from New York, just making a nuisance of themselves all over the place. Uhila charges forward nearly up to the halfway line. They haven't really advanced. That's why Semple puts it on the toe. That's a great kick going down, but it looks like it's gone into the try zone. So a little bit overcooked from Semple. Hard to manage with this breeze behind you. It'll be a 22-meter restart.
Yeah, so just for those new viewers joining us, a 22-meter restart when the other team, for example, when they kick it in to the end goal or the try zone, and just like we've seen, New York dotted it down like an opposite try, essentially, they'll be able to take it out and restart with a drop kick where it has to cross that 22-meter line that has been beautifully shoveled out, credit to the grounds crew, and then we restart just like that.
And of course, while that wasn't the best outcome for Utah going in and giving them a 22-meter restart, better than it going all the way over the dead ball line, which of course would result in a scrum all the way back, as Whippy looked like he'd made a crucial break and then just throwing the ball away on the ground. This is probably because they're panicking. They're trying to do something immediately with the ball. Instead of being patient, Utah, they just need points. They're desperate to get on the board before the halftime break. So they are pushing the pass as Foden just settles things down. Makes Utah work out of their own territory again. Switch play. That's well done by the missile. Misang Nalu still going. He's going to take it on. And the number 3 in support, McClellan, charges for the line. What support play by him. Now with numbers to burn out to the right. Williams decides to hold on. Settles things down. Looking back to the left. Needs to go right. Using that width. Vandenberg. Over the line, no, he's over the 5-meter line.
Oh, they got to spin it right.
True words by Johnny in the booth here. Slowing it down. They just need to hold on to the ball. Keep applying pressure. Same way, pick and drive for Utah toward the posts. Here comes Luciano, sends it wide now. Semple looking for the short ball, holds on, not panicking. Recycling ball, Cullen! Easy try for him. Just what Utah needed, and that'll give them some much needed confidence going into the break.
Yeah, a little bit of magic from the missile, Misaingalu, and then McClellan, the prop, the big man on the outside with a beautiful supporting run, was able to get 5 meters out. And then vice captain John Cullen able to notch it over and dot down with a much needed 5 points for this Utah Warriors side. As we see this counter attack from the kick through. I thought RUNY had done a good job clearing, but Natalauti out to Vainikolo. Vainikolo runs across field as he does so well. He's a dangerous man. And then Misailingalu able to give him the big don't argue underneath a couple would-be tacklers. And then McClellan, that's a beautiful one. That would have been awesome if the big man could have ran it in. Gets tackled down just short, and then good patience there from the Warriors and lets the forwards do all the work with John Cullen busting over.
Yes, there he is, John Cullen, the vice captain. Again, that's lifted the crowd. It was very silent here for a good 30 minutes. And that is much better going into the sheds at halftime with 5, possibly 7 points as opposed to 0. Amazing what a psychological turnaround that could be. But they will have a tough task as they'll be asked to come into the breeze for the second half. As O'Malley lines up, every point is crucial from here on in for Utah. And he manages to add those extras right on the halftime break. New York lead this match here at Zions Bank Stadium. 26 points to 7 over the Warriors. As the players head into the sheds for some warmth and probably some stern words, especially for Utah from their coaches. So plenty of action here in Utah. Don't go too far, folks. We'll be back with some interviews at halftime before the second half.
What's left to me is beating in this guitar. Every night a different town. She follows me around. So you get what's left to me. Yeah, you get what's left to me. Like a party, it feels like a damn good time to me. A bunch of country girls and back row boys all here to drink and sing.
Tooele. Humble beginnings to unlimited tomorrows. It's a bold new day in Tooele. So much, so close. For more information, contact us at tooelevalley.org.
All that's left to me
Tooele.
Well, welcome back, viewers. It's halftime here at Zions Bank Stadium. And the Utah Warriors struggling a little bit. They scored 7 points right before the break, but Rugby United New York are racing away with this match. 26 points in the first half into the breeze. But right now at halftime, little change of pace for you, and it's pretty exciting. We've got local hero, Utah-based. We've got Court the Crusher. I just had to check his nickname there, the Crusher. It's kind of scary. I'm sat next to Court the Crusher McGee here at the game. Court, welcome. Thanks so much for joining us and having a few words here here at halftime. Now, you're an MMA fighter,
Yep.
UFC.
Yep.
What are you doing at the rugby tonight?
Coming to support Utah's rugby team.
Have you had much experience with rugby in the past?
No, I think a few years back, my sons had talked about it. Like, hey, well, what do you think about rugby? And I said, I don't know. It's the only sport that everybody else has cauliflower here. So
That's true.
yeah.
So you have an affinity with sports that produce cauliflower ears.
Well, and just watching the game right now, it's like a bunch of light heavyweight UFC world champions double-legging each other. And then it's like a little mix of soccer and a little mix of football, but way more action.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Yeah, how you found the physicality, the stamina, obviously, of these players, and the athleticism, how it compares to MMA and some of the fighters that you've fought
Well,
against.
it's like having mini fights. I mean, there's a whole team of guys, and it's like they huddle up, and then you'll see a guy double-leg a guy over here and single-leg a guy over here, you know, and then the ball, and then they run off and go. So it's like, it's the most action-packed sport I think I've seen outside of mixed martial arts.
There you go, folks. It is very action-packed, and that makes me feel better having played rugby but never fought in MMA. That makes me feel
kind of. It's like fighting.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, your wrestling skills, I'm sure the Utah Warriors could use out there tonight. Do you think you'll ever pull on a Warriors jersey for this outfit?
Maybe. I don't know if I'd play, but I would come work out with the guys, though.
Well, there you go. Well, they might just hold you to that. I'm sure they could use definitely some of the ground skills that you employ in your training. Very similar, some of the training methods between MMA and rugby.
I would love it. I would do it in a heartbeat.
Oh, awesome. Well, thanks again, Cor, for joining us. Now, you have a fight coming up 27th of April.
Yep.
And that's in Miami.
Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So you can watch it on ESPN3, viewers, or just fly to Fort Lauderdale and support him live at the game.
Yep.
At the match. Well, thanks a lot, Court.
Yep, thank you.
We're going into a break now. Don't go too far. We have another interview coming up after the break.
Hi, I'm Ned Siegfried. Siegfried & Jensen's been handling injury cases in Utah for over 30 years. In addition to our main office in Salt Lake, we have recently opened offices for your convenience in Ogden, Provo, and St. George. Even though most business these days is done online, we really enjoy meeting our clients in person whenever possible. If you've had the misfortune of being injured, call us. We can probably tell you right on the phone whether or not you have a case.
Hey there, rugby fans! Did you ever get bullied for being one of the only lovers of a sport? Well, now everyone will want to jump on the bandwagon. Go to warriorsrugby.vote to enter any of the polls and contests. Leave your email, first and last name, and boom! You are entered for a chance to win 2 round-trip tickets to Japan for this year's Rugby World Cup. Hurry!
All that's left to me is beating in this guitar. Every night a different town, she follows me around. So you get what's left to me. Yeah, you get what's left to me. 'Cause it feels like a party. It feels like a damn good time to me. A bunch of country girls and back row boys all here to drink and sing.
A lot can happen when your sidekick is a dog.
I got this.
That's why you use Zelle in the Mountain America app. It makes sending and receiving money fast and easy. So Kicker and I can keep the adventure going.
Zelle is now in the Mountain America mobile app.
quickly send and receive money from almost anyone with a bank account in the U.S.
Kicker, my sleeping bag.
I've got this.
All with the convenience and security of the Mountain America app.
Hey there, rugby fans! Did you ever get bullied for being one of the only lovers of a sport? Well, now everyone will want to jump on the bandwagon. Go to warriorsrugby.vote to enter any of the polls and contests. Leave your email, first and last name, and boom! You are entered for a chance to win 2 round-trip tickets to Japan for this year's Rugby World Cup. Hurry!
Welcome back to Harriman, Utah, as the Utah Warriors host the Rugby United of New York. I'm joined by majority owner of the Utah Warriors, Luke Kerr. Luke, what does rugby mean to you and to Utah?
It's huge in Utah. I've always told people if professional rugby can be done anywhere, is really the Utah market. We have such a culture here. We love rugby. There's so many Polynesian influence here, and then people just love the combat sport of rugby. That's what that brought me to it. I'm a wrestler. I have the ears, but never played, and I love the sport for all the action.
Well, you look like you're in shape, and maybe not an ideal start to the season for the Warriors, and especially not tonight. Maybe you could throw on a jersey and help them out.
Maybe, man. It's cold out there, and so I feel for them. But they gotta get it going in the second half and push the ball down the field.
Yeah, specifically, what do they have to do?
I'm new to the sport, so I just know the ball needs to get from one end to the other, and just overcome and just tie together as a team and overcome the cold and get after it. So.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the cold. It's great to see so many fans turn out tonight with the cowbells. You've done a great job, not just with Major League Rugby, but also with Utah.
Yeah, thank you. We're getting it going. It's going to be a great place to bring a team to support it.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Luke. When we come back, we'll get right into second half action as Utah takes on Rugby United of New York.
Hi, I'm Ned Siegfried. Siegfried & Jensen's been handling injury cases in Utah for over 30 years. In addition to our main office in Salt Lake, we have recently opened offices for your convenience in Ogden, Provo, and St. George. Even though most business these days is done online, we really enjoy meeting our clients in person whenever possible. If you've had the misfortune of being injured, call us. We can probably tell you right on the phone whether or not you have a case.
Tooele. beginnings to unlimited tomorrows. It's a bold new day in Tooele. So much, so close. For more information, contact us at tooelevalley.org.
And welcome back, viewers. It's the second half here in Zions Bank Stadium in Utah. The hosts, the Utah Warriors, trail the visitors, Rugby United New York, 26 points to 7 in favor of the New Yorkers. Lots of action in that first half. The snow has eased, and Utah have a mountain to climb, but it is not over as they need this win desperately in front of a very vocal home crowd. I'm Mark Stabina, and joining me is Johnny the Legend from BYU Rugby and Football. I just love that story, how you were the punter, Johnny Lennon. So what do you make of that first half so far, Johnny?
Yeah, I mean, clinical rugby from RUNY and then sloppy rugby from the Warriors, which is pretty unique. I mean, they haven't started the season ideally, but they've been a lot cleaner than they have tonight, even given the snow. Both teams have to play with it. They have to play with the same pill, and New York's just been so much more lethal with their chances.
Been lethal indeed, and accurate, calculated, just as they were last week against Houston. But the second half is underway here, folks, and already New York piling on the pressure as Utah will now have to make their way out of the red zone, and a sneaky little run there straight through the middle. That's the start they want from the second half. Vainicolo, the danger man. He's been brilliant for Utah so far this season. Clever kick in behind.
Smart kick.
And now we have Whippy giving chase. It'll be a foot race, but the ball will actually win the race to the sideline. Great start for Utah.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Utah. That would have been interesting with Josh Whippy putting the pressure on if that one stayed in bounds. But a great break. About a 50-meter run there from the left winger, Vainicolo. And that's the start the Warriors need. They need something to spark. They need to get back in this game.
Alfetz Vainicolo, 34 years of age, showing just why he's the all-time try scorer, top try scorer for Tonga. 17 tries, 2 World Cups for the left winger. It's New York, it's battered down. Lucky to get that one away. Foden, another hurried kick toward the sideline.
Great kick.
A wonderful kick with literally no angle there. And a Utah player bearing down. Remember, they have the breeze behind them now, Johnny. New York, tough to make out just how strong this breeze is. Look at the flags around the park, particularly being held by the assistant referee, not flapping about too much. As Utah have lost the line out. And it's whisked away by Denise. Back on the field after a short spell for a blood bin. And that is Mike St. Clair, making it very tough in this game. Turnover for Utah, and here they go. Now Vandenberg looking in, using one of his players, Daniels, as somewhat of a human shield there. Referee says it's okay, play on. Replacement scrum half, Nichols, joins us for the second 40 minutes of this match. Inside ball goes to ground, and that's a penalty. Offside, says the referee, and a little bit unfortunate there for Utah.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we see that the replacement scrum half, Joseph Nichols, has come on to replace Ian Luciano, and unfortunately when you can't play the ball if it's been touched by someone behind you, if you're in front of the ball. So he got a little bit caught out there, and it's an offside. It is unfortunate, it is unlucky, but it is the rule, and it gives a chance to RUNY to clear and get in the attacking half of the Warriors.
Nice penalty kick for the line by Foden. You can just see the length of their kicks now, that they're not into the teeth of the breeze. It does look like it's calmed down somewhat, which is good news for Utah. As New York win that line out Perfectly thrown by Dylan Fawcett. 28-year-old, originally from Wexford in Ireland. He's played for the US Eagles. 7 caps. Great driving maul. Playing Utah at their own game right now, New York. Strong forward pack finally comes to ground. Referee has his arm out, playing advantage. So now they'll put it through the backs. Behind the back pass, goes wild. Finacolo thought he might have had a chance at that one. But playing advantage, and no advantage was given. So it's coming back to the original penalty.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what RUNY decide to do here. This is well within field goal range. Do they take a pretty easy 3 points? Now it looks like they're kicking to the corner. But just going back for our newer viewers who might be newer to rugby, or even some of our seasoned viewers who might have missed that refereeing call, that was a penalty because as New York decided to drive the maul forward, the referee deemed that the Warriors dragged that maul down, and once it's moving forward, you can't do anything to bring that to the ground illegally. You have to push back or let it come down on its own.
So, Rugby United New York. RUNY as they're known. Now 5 meters out. Again, we have a player down in back play. He's been battered around, James Denise, in this game. Could be blood again still coming out. Now it's a contact lens. So James will rejoin his pack as they talk tactics. 5 meters out. Utah under pressure once again. Not even 5 minutes gone. This first half, just over 5, and that's a great line-out throw to the back, and the driving maul ensues inside the 5 meter line, heading across field. Utah doing their best, pushing them away from the try line as they screw around. As they come out, it's close to the line. The referee has a look, and it looks like it might be held up. What's the decision? Held up it is indeed. So Utah breathe a sigh of relief, but now they have to contend with a 5 meter scrum to RUNY.
Looks like he might want to have a word with the assistant referee before awarding a decision, but that's exactly what it looked like from our vantage point up here, Mark.
Now, I could have sworn I saw him make the hand gestures, that the ball was over the line, but it wasn't grounded. Of course, it needs to be grounded for a try to be awarded. He says no try. He's going back to his original decision. It was held up. So, Utah finding themselves in a familiar position, defending for their lives.
So as we see them go over, look at it is pretty close there, but it does. Oh, actually, that is pretty close. But when you can't tell, the ruling on the field will stand just like in football, and it is held up. He's unable to see any part of the ball in contact with any part of that ground, even though it might have looked like there was an arm in the way, obscuring the view. So when in doubt, give him another chance, and that's exactly what they have. And what a powerful scrum, charging forward, the ball spits out, it's play on. Well, will it come back for the penalty? Yes, it does. Under all sorts of pressure here, the Utah scrum. Just taking it to them, these RUNY forwards, aren't they? Just dominating every facet of this game. So they elect for another scrum to try to put the weight on.
So, New York now peppering the try line of the Utah Warriors. 26 points to 7. They lead. 47 minutes, 40 seconds gone in this match. Still time for the Warriors to find their feet and hit their straps They're not going to do it from this part of the field, Johnny.
Yeah, it's interesting. It looks like RUNY's got the fullback lined up right behind the scrum. The Warriors have to respect that blind side. So they have 2 men blind. If RUNY decides to take this right, they could have an overlap.
You can see Foden hovering behind the back of the scrum. And they're charging on again, this New York scrum. Beautiful play. Ball spits out again. The referee's awarded another penalty. And Utah need to be very careful now. He's calling out his captain for Utah. Number 6, Lance Williams. No, he's going to have a chat with Franco Vandenberg. So it's a penalty. Now, Rugby United New York with another crack at a 5-meter scrum. Similar alignment from the New York back line. Most of them out to the right. We have one backline player hiding on the sideline over here to the left. But they might just try and push this ball over and attempt a penalty try. If not a regular try, so scrum disbands. Keeping us all in suspense here. We do have a player on the ground. Always makes me nervous when I see players not moving after a scrum, Johnny.
You don't like to see that. Looks like we do have a little bit of movement there, popping their head up. But anytime one of those front rowers, either prop or your hooker, go down, that's a lot of weight, a lot of force, a lot of power driving to the ground. And a lot of that's being supported by your neck and your back. So there can be some pretty devastating injuries. So let's just hope that Dylan Fawcett's okay.
Seems to be all right, but the physical therapist, the trainer there, just giving a little massage on the back of the neck. Could be a stinger on the shoulder as well. Might have fallen awkwardly or taken that hit out of the scrum. Still could have been some impact there. Either way, he's okay, up on his feet, ready to pack down for another 5-meter scrum for New York. Utah Warriors must hold them out. I think we can predict what New York are going to try and do in this scrum as they shove and push. It comes out now to the back line. The pass goes wayward and nearly intercepted by Semple. Oh, that could have turned things right on its head. I think he was a little surprised. That just kind of came at him with some force. Semple unable. I tell you what, he had an open line there.
Yeah, we did. Well, we saw a similar one around this time frame in the first half for RUNY, which switched things up, gave him all the momentum. If Semple could have just hung on to that bullet, he could have scampered 80 meters for a score and really turned this game on its head. So RUNY still in an attacking position here at the 22-meter line.
Semple nearly giving New York a taste of their own medicine. As you mentioned, Johnny, it was Mark O'Keefe in the first half that picked off the pass. Ran nearly 80 meters to score. Against the run of play. At that stage, it was all Utah. As RUNY now, scrum collapses at the back. Another wayward pass. Good running again by St. Clair. Quick ball again, and that's knocked on. So New York just showing some uncharacteristic errors compared to the first half, Johnny.
Yeah, and that's a big win there for Utah. As you know, about 5 minutes ago when RUNY had that first penalty inside the 22, they turned down the 3 points, which would have put them outside. 3 converted tries. And Utah able to hold on and get a scrum. Still in a dangerous territory for them. But let's see if they can spark something and get this game back even.
They've certainly come out in the second half fired up. No shortage of energy from the home team. They're doing their best to hold out and even pressurize this New York team, who are now displaying some errors just creeping in. Utah, however, need the ball at the opposite end of the park. Start applying some pressure on New York. As Joseph Nichols, the replacement, came on in the second half for Ian Luciano. Again, who replaced at the very last minute the regular starter, John Ika. I'm sure that had a big impact on this team, Johnny.
Yeah, definitely. You know, that, especially when it's an illness, because you can't really prepare for that, because that, who knows how long he's been sick for, if it was just a game day decision. But getting those reps at practice is really difficult for a reserve, let alone someone that they don't know who's going to play. So Luciano throwing in the fire. Bit of nerves there, first outing for him. Joseph Nichols was the 9 for the majority of last year, so he's a little bit more of a seasoned warrior.
Now they've won themselves a penalty at the scrum. You can see the forwards congratulating each other. Big confidence booster for them. Malley, the captain, steps up. He'll attempt to relieve some more pressure. Get as much yardage out of this kick as possible. Much friendlier conditions in this second half. The snow has ceased. The wind seems to have settled somewhat. And O'Malley brings play up to the halfway line. Utah to throw it in the line out. At the likes of Lauti, Whippy, Vainakolo, Misale Ngalu, desperate to get the ball in their hands. So we have a substitution. Finally, James Denise leaving the field for good. Or is he? Another blood bin, perhaps? As Utah win the line out. Matt Jensen. And now through the hands. It's gone just behind there. So lacking some accuracy there, the back line of Utah. They were looking fired up too.
You just see the frustration starting to set in. Not much has gone their way this evening. And so that can kind of play games with you. They just need to start sticking together some phases, start getting over the advantage lines, some line breaks.
Well, I feel like that's been the story of this game, as we have a replacement for Utah. Number 6, Lance Williams, leaves the field, replaced by Jackson Kaka, 26-year-old New Zealander. Line-out win for RUNY. But as I was saying, Johnny, it's been the tale of tonight. Just those errors, lacking accuracy, becoming more frequent from the home team than the away team. Sometimes it's as simple as that, as RUNY now nearly picked off again by Semple. Foden comes up with it. Play on, says the referee. Still running, Foden. RUNY now on the charge. Great running by Fawcett. Looking to go the same way. Now coming back to the open. Charging forward with some big tackles coming in, putting lots of pressure on this New York team. It's a penalty. That's a shame. That's exactly what Utah need to do, is just come in and try and upset this New York offense however they can, Johnny.
Yeah, definitely. You know, they've almost had those 2 interceptions, which could change the momentum, get them back in this game. But RUNY keep the ball with a beautiful kick. This looks like it's going to be out inside the 5-meter line, so that'll be taken back to the 5-meter mark. When the forwards for RUNY have been so dominant this second half, pushing back, it's hard not to put some money on them mauling this try over.
Oh, that was very ambitious by Foden, wasn't it? They're just flirting with that corner post. Had he kicked it to the left of that corner post, so it enters the sideline over the try line, then it would have come back and been a turnover to Utah. You can even see a sly smile on the face of Foden. He knew he got away with something there, but now Rugby United New York, once again, their favorite part of the field. Recycling numbers around the left. They're so quick with ball in hand. Petrie straight on it again. As a forwards fan around, it's picked and driven back against the grain. So New York looking to add another try. They've already got their fourth. Looking for a fifth now. Just scrambling forward. Out through the backs now. Little switch play coming in with the inside ball to Foden. He's been heavily involved. Injects himself so well, showing his class. And now New York meters out. Once again, Utah doing what they can just to hold them out. Doing so well. New York remaining composed. Ball at the back, slow ball, counter ruck coming in from Utah. They need to attempt efforts like that. 1 meter from the line now, New York. It's coming back for a penalty. You just have the sense, Johnny, that this pressure has just been immense from New York, and surely Utah are about to crack.
Yeah, this pressure might be getting to them. This is the second time O'Malley's been called out, so we might see the referee pull out a yellow card and go to the sin bin.
Yes, we unfortunately can't read the lips there, but I'd love to hear what they're talking about, calling in one of the big men. As you said, Johnny, need to be careful now. They're in dangerous territory with all the infringements, lacking some discipline. But that tends to happen when you put under such immense pressure as New York are applying to Utah right now. We have another replacement. Marcus Walsh coming on for the experienced Mike Petrie. He's had a great game. This New York team, loads of experience. Marcus Walsh, quite experienced himself, 27 years of age, from Ireland. He's played some pro rugby in Connacht in Ireland. He's a national champion with Life University, Ireland under 20. So not a bad replacement for the great Mike Petrie indeed, as New York now bound to be a try, if not a penalty try. And it looks like a penalty try to me. 7 automatic points to New York. It was a matter of time. Too much pressure for the home side as New York now race away to a 31 points to 7 lead.
Well, you know, that pressure pays off. They turned down a surely give me 3 points to put this one out of reach, and they dotted it down with 5 and possibly and most likely 7 points with a penalty try. And just to explain the penalty try, anytime a team is attacking and there is an infringement that stops a certain try, the referee will deem a penalty try right in the middle of the sticks. And so that's what referee chose to do at that point in time.
That's right, Johnny, as we mentioned at the start, without rugby for rookies, 7 automatic points. That must have been scrum number 300 from that part of the field in the last 10 minutes, it seems. Just scrum after scrum after scrum. A lot of pressure for this Utah team to absorb, and they finally cracked. Again, 20 minutes left, so they still can get back into this game. It will take something special from Utah, but it's not out of the question. As Foden puts another raking kick into the 40-meter zone of Utah. They bring it back. Full of life, needing something special. Quick hands out to Tucci. He's a wonderful runner of the ball. Expect to see more of that in this second half after coming on the field. Utah upping the pace of things. O'Malley, beautiful pass, and Vanacola does well to avoid a would-be tackler. And now another error. This has been the story of Utah all night. Crucial errors with ball in hand. It's a great kick. It is a great kick. New York just punishing that knock on. As Utah will come all the way back. Ball goes backwards, says referee Rogan. And Whippy doing his best. Ball comes forward again. So another error. They just cannot keep the ball in hand tonight, Utah.
Yeah, you can just see it sucking the wind out of Utah's sails as well. Anytime they get close, they're just devastated.
Well, that'll conclude the third quarter of the match as the players get together for their hydration break. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back in 60 seconds for the last quarter of the match. Welcome back, viewers, to Zions Bank Stadium here in Utah. It's the fourth and final quarter of the match. And the Utah Warriors came out firing in this second half, but it is New York who just had the last say, scoring a penalty try after plenty of pressure at scrum time, 5 meters out. They must have had 7 or 8 attempts at it, and finally Utah cracking under the pressure. I'm Mark Stabina, if you're just joining us. With me, Johnny Linehan. We've got a replacement, Johnny. A couple of replacements, actually. We have some wholesale changes for both teams. As New York now with the scrum feed. Anderson will be joining the Warriors for the final 20 minutes. And New York again with that trademark scrum that's caused so much damage to this Utah team. He's going to reach for his pocket. Once again cracking under the pressure. So they are in a lot of trouble right now in the set piece. As it's Franco Vandenberg getting sent from the field. He'll join his teammates in the last 8 minutes of the match. So you have to say this is not looking great for Utah right now, Johnny.
No, not looking great. And Rugby United New York showing no pressures of letting up. They're relentless. They have their foot on the throat and they are keeping it there and pressing firm as they kick to the corner. Now with a short or a lighter forward pack here, 7 forwards on with Vandenberg in the sin bin. RUNY will have a man advantage in the forward pack. They've already been dominant 8 on 8. So 8 on 7, this could prove fatal.
Line out wind of RUNY. Coming now, mauling toward the try line. RUNY looking close. Referee gets a good look, throws the arm up. It's another try. Second try of the second half. Again through the dominating forward pack of Rugby United New York.
Yeah, well, these forwards have taken it to Utah. And this one looks like we're headed for an early evening. Utah is absolutely devastated. They got no more wind in the sails. RUNY's pumped up. They're on their feet. Take a look at the replay. The kick for the corner proved to be the right decision again, like it has all night. And then the forward back with the man advantage. They were able to knock it over. Great work by the referee there to get on his feet. Saw the ball on the white snowy turf and awarded the 5-pointer. As you can see, still the remains of the downpour of snow in that first half. So we've got Chris Matita will attempt the conversion. Kick is successful. Looks good from here. The flags go up. So New York adding the extras. 40 points now to 7. Just under 15 minutes left in this game. Both teams making some changes late in the game. Number 19, Matthew Workin, coming on for Rugby United. He replaces Nate Breakley. And they've also brought on Mike Brown, number 16 for New York. As the restart goes up, contestable, but comes down on New York's side as they charge up over the 40-meter line. Walsh feeding his forwards. That's Paddy Ryan, the replacement, getting a run. Some fresh legs coming on for New York. Walsh with a box kick. Sends it long. And Wallace Sims couldn't contest. Looks like he might have suffered an injury as he limps back toward his position. Utah now. See what they can do. Quick ball from O'Malley. Little kick. Goes sideways more than forwards. And that's brilliant work out there by Misalingaul. Still with the ball, Utah. Out now through Semple. O'Malley takes it to the line. Lauti gets shielded. Referee says it's okay. Utah trying to find something, digging deep. Nichols has a crack. Semple comes in as acting half. Crunching defense by New York. Inside pass, 2 inside passes. Jackson Kaka pumping his legs, nearly up to the 40-meter line. Doing whatever they can, not kicking it away. That's a lovely miss pass out wide. Hasn't seen much of the ball in this game. Lauti. Lauti's in the middle there, in fact, as the ball comes through the hands. Lots of big men in the middle, and what a fend. Tries to bunt off. That's Uhila, who's lost it in the tackle. Story of Utah's night. It's a great kick. Foden gives chase. Puts pressure, a little confusion there. Finally picked up by Nolan to a Moelewa. It's a high tackle. That's still a high tackle. The arm finally comes out by the referee. John Cullen appealing to the ref. Ref, are you going to do something about this? Well, he's a bruiser. And you see the frustration come out, you know, a minor high tackle there, but also the frustration coming out. But they've gone quickly.
Crossfield kick now. Clever thinking by Semple. They're trying to up the pace of this game. And what about the wheels
Josh Anderson.
of Anderson? He'll go all the way. Now I know why Semple did his best to get the ball straight out to Josh Anderson. The crowd come alive. Great try to Utah.
Yeah, great try. Is it too late? Well, we'll find out here in the next 12 minutes. But a quick tap and go, a bit of desperation stuff from the Warriors. Josh Anderson, all the pace in the world, my former BYU rugby teammate and Utah football player before then. But he has so much pace, as we see the cross kick here from Semple. Josh with the quick step inside, and then all the pace in the world. Once he gets going, he's hard to stop. Those big long legs. 80-meter highlight reel try for Josh Anderson.
Well, I mean, he had absolutely no right to score that try, really. So much work to do, so much distance, and 3 defenders in front of him. And the defenders in front of him are no slouches. So he really just made a meal of that New York defense. He just shows how quick he is. They got to get the ball to Anderson again, ASAP.
Yeah, well, that's one of the reasons they call these substitutes, these run-ons. They got to run on and make an impact. They got to change the game. And that's what Josh Anderson is trying to do there. Beautiful impact there from the substitute.
Well, Anderson finally giving this home crowd something to cheer about. They haven't had much to cheer about in this first 69 minutes. They've had their opportunities. They've looked like cracking this New York defense. Just too many handling errors are crippling Utah right now. Let's see if they can bring their tally from 12 to 14 with this conversion attempt. And it's good. Crowd like it. Malley likes it. And New York will be set to restart. Well, I just cannot get over the pace of Josh Anderson. I can't. Johnny, you played with this kid?
Yeah, he's quick. He was one of my favorite targets for the long ball or crossfield kicks similar to that. So you just got to get on the ball in space and he'll find a way to do the rest of the work.
And let's give some credit to James Semple as well. Finding his mark. That's quick thinking. That's brave play as well. Sending a cross kick. I guess at this stage of the game, it's worth giving anything a try. There's Utah now with the pass behind the back. Putting it through the hands. Plenty of wheels to burn out here. That's Lauti. Cover defense coming across in the form of Mark O'Keefe. And now O'Malley taking it forward. Wide pass out to the wing. That's the replacement getting it in. Just can't quite handle it. To a Moaloa inside to Misaile Ngalu. The missile got it around his knees. So here we are, we have a scrum packing down. You see Utah doing their absolute best. 10 minutes to play. The win might be out of reach, Johnny, but if they can score 2 more tries, remember, you can get a bonus point by scoring 4 tries or more. New York have done it in the first half, scored 4 tries before the break, and that earned them a bonus point, whether they win the game or lose. They're winning at the moment. They're looking at earning themselves 5 points. Now, if the Warriors can score 2 more, they can come away with at least a point from this match. If they get within 7 points and lose this match, but get within 7, they'll earn 2 bonus points if they can score 4 tries, and they can also lose within 7.
Yeah, last year, actually, the Warriors were able to make the playoffs of the inaugural MLR season because they had scored so many bonus points. So early stages, it's a much longer format this season, but they can all add up at the end of the season. So definitely still something to play for the Utah Warriors.
We've seen just how important bonus points can be. You see the table. New York, for example, have 3 wins out of their 4 games. But they've only earned 1 bonus point, and they find themselves in 5th position. Up there with one of the best win-loss records. Seattle Seawolves up there with 4 bonus points in 3rd place. So bonus points are crucial, especially in such a tight league like the Major League Rugby. Warriors, of course, sat in 7th position now out of 9. 7 total points, only 1 bonus point. They need something from this match. and a strong finish to the season if they are to score themselves another semi-final berth as they did last year. But it's New York now, the newcomers to the league with the ball. Foden out through the hands. Anderson coming across in defense. Giving Lipscomb no room at all. Ball goes out. It'll be a Utah feed, and look how quickly they're playing. Well, was that quick line out intercepted by New York there? The ball's going to come back. Wow. 40 points to 14 at the moment. Rugby United New York, they've been on the road for 5 weeks now. Excited to get a home game finally next week, and they have done extremely well, having had to play away this whole time. 3 wins and only the 1 loss. Number 19 on for Utah. Kenny Scott places out of Elkington. New York have regained possession from that line out. Goes back to the right-hand side, charging forward. Now, same way for New York. Big tackles still plenty of life left in this Utah Warrior outfit. You can see the sting in their tackles. Maintaining possession is New York. Inside ball has worked so well for them in the first half. Could have been knocked on, and it was. Knocked forward, so Utah get another bite of the cherry.
Just getting a little bit sloppy here from both teams towards the end of the match. Fortunately, though, for RUNY, they're in a better position to be making these mistakes. But as the match wears on, even in snowy conditions, you're still starting to fatigue. We see a lot of substitutions from both teams trying to make their mark on the game. But right now, Utah has more to play for because it looks like New York has this match sealed.
Utah now with the feed, running out of time. They seem to have lost the match, but they can earn themselves a bonus point at least. Some more replacements coming on. And for Utah, it's the number 16, Jeremy Lieber, coming onto the field for Logan Daniels. He's had a tough old match, but he's done well today, Logan. And we have James Jack Rochford finally returning from the naughty chair. He got 10 minutes earlier on. And now New York. Totally mixed up, haven't I? He's just come back on because I guess they've run out of prop replacements. Another injury to a replacement prop. I'm going to say Rochford wasn't naughty at all. As Utah come away with Cullen charging forward. The try scorer. One of their 2 tries right before the break. As Utah running out of time here. Camped in their own 22. Little dummy coming in. Same way for Utah. Another fake pass. Call it the dummy in rugby union. Back to the open side. So strong, this New York defense. Utah throwing everything at them now. Tucci playing, acting 5/8, and the ball goes down once again. It was Uhila this time who couldn't hang on to it. So just riddled with errors, this Utah Warriors performance tonight.
Yeah, it's been the story of the night, unfortunately, for Utah. had a really rough start to the season. Haven't had many things go their way, and it seems like it's been just a waterfall of errors tonight. So it'll be interesting to see how they regroup over these next coming weeks, because they find themselves in a bit of a hole early on in this Major League Rugby competition.
So New York, of course, 5th position right now. This bonus point win will take them from 13 to 18 points, and that will be 3rd position. They're in semi-final contention. Scrum feed now for RUNY. Out now, through the hands, the back line, oh, gaping hole. That's going to be an easy try for New York. And that was the missile just racing out. He was a heat-seeking missile and missed the mark and just opened up a massive gap, which New York take advantage of, racing away with this game.
This is beautiful, exactly what we want to see from your set piece. Running the dummy line, Mark O'Keefe comes around as the supporting line, dots down for his 2nd try of the match. And the dagger of daggers. There's been a few daggers for RUNY, but that's just another one. And they just sink their teeth in, and they've taken this game. And they're making their mark known to this competition. They're saying, hey, Rugby United New York is here. We're for real. You should fear us.
We should indeed. This will be 4 away wins out of 5. Showing their class. A force to be reckoned with. This is not an easy opposition to claim 45 points, possibly 47 from either. Warriors are a great outfit. They've been unlucky in the last couple of matches, unable to close out their leads. As the score is improved for New York, 47 points to 14 now, coming into 1 minute left to play. Just playing for some pride now. The Utah Warriors, a little bit of confidence moving forward to their next match. They need to prove to themselves that they can finish, even though they won't win. They can still fight to the death. They can still score tries. They've struggled to do it. So another try would be nice for the Warriors right now. That's a great restart as Cullen gets up for it, unable to bring it down. It's knocked forward by New York. Finally in the hands of Cullen, dives on it, puts his body on the line. So the Warriors now inside the final minute of the game. Putting it through the hands, Semple, pass behind. Lauti leaves without it. The inside pass was a good option. Coming back for the earlier knock-on from New York, so it'll be a scrum feed to the Warriors and possibly the last play of the match.
Yeah, so even though looks like they're going to leave this game with nothing, they can definitely leave with some momentum. Good set piece to end on here. Give them an opportunity to get at least some confidence boosters for this next week.
Last play of the game here at Zions Bank Stadium. Been some exciting rugby. And Utah Warriors, the home team, may get the last say in this match. They've had to deal with a dominant scrum by New York. Holds firm this time. That's a better scrum from the Warriors. And now it comes out. Anderson, the try scorer with the jet shoes. Through the hands. Stepping back in. Need to do something. Last play of the game. If they can just hold on. That's the replacement, Kenny Scott. Throwing his weight in. Charging forward now is Tucci. He's been heavily involved. Loves getting his hands on the ball. Back down the other side now, and that's big defense, but Lauti does well. Buys some time. He's driven backwards from Ross Deacon, the big number 8. Losing some yards here. Matt Jensen does his best. Same way, Semple back inside, Lauti, this time it works. And what a last-ditch tackle. Still with the ball, the Warriors. They have a chance. Can they finish the match with the last try? Looking back inside, and it's held. What a tackle. The Warriors could finish with a try. Plenty of numbers out to the right-hand side. Semple goes back inside. 5 meters from the line, the Warriors looking for their 3rd try of the match. It's the last play of the game. Semple fires it over the top into the hands of the 13, the missile. Here comes Cullen. He'll go all the way, Cullen, for his 2nd try. And what a great way to finish this match for the home team. John Cullen, the vice-captain, take a bow. Full time here. 47 points to 19 with a kick to come. Well, Johnny, where was that in the first half?
Well, yeah, you said it. John Cullen, you know, made that try, and that's a 2nd of the game. And beautiful effort there from the Warriors. It is a consolation try, but going back to that build-up, we see the pride in both these teams. Utah not wanting to leave without putting on a show for these fans last minute to get some momentum moving forward. But also RUNY, some great desperation tackles. Utah able to knock that one over with vice-captain John Cullen. And even though they'll be devastated, they'll come away with 0 points. That's got to feel good to end the game with that.
Well, they certainly showed what they're capable of and what they can do, which is important for them psychologically, important for the fans. Problem for Utah tonight is they just suffered in that first half. 14 quick points from the opposition, and they really struggled to come back. O'Malley with a great strike, and he's added the extras. So that takes them to 21 points at full time here at Zions Bank Stadium. The newcomers, Rugby United New York, have taken this one 47 points to 21. What a great game, plenty of action. It's been a pleasure to call. I'm Mark Stabina with Johnny Linehan and all the crew saying thank you for joining us tonight. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you next week.
Hi, I'm Ned Siegfried. Siegfried & Jensen's been handling injury cases in Utah for over 30 years. In addition to our main office in Salt Lake, we have recently opened offices for your convenience in Ogden, Provo, and St. George. Even though most business these days is done online, we really enjoy meeting our clients in person whenever possible. If you've had the misfortune of being injured, call us. We can probably tell you right on the phone whether or not you have a case.
All that's left to me is beating in this guitar. Every night a different town, she follows me around. So you get what's left to me. Yeah, you get what's left to me. 'Cause it feels like a party. It feels like a damn good time to me. A bunch of country girls and back row boys all here to drink and sing.
A lot can happen when your sidekick is a dog.
I got this.
That's why you use Zelle in the Mountain America app. It makes sending and receiving money fast and easy. So Kicker and I can keep the adventure going.
Zelle is now in the Mountain America mobile app. Quickly send and receive money from almost anyone with a bank account in the U.S.
Kicker, my sleeping bag. I've got this.
All with the convenience and security of the Mountain America app.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Magna's Irish Cider, the official hard cider of New York's professional rugby franchise. Motion PT, get back what moves you. Visit motionpt.com to find a physical therapy location near you. And Tourism LA, Louisiana Tourism. Don't just live the moment, be the moment. Visit louisianatourism.com to plan your trip today. AutoSource, Big D, Embassy Suites, and Nui.
Hey there, rugby fans! Did you ever get bullied for being one of the only lovers of the sport? Well, now everyone will want to jump on the bandwagon. Go to warriorsrugby.vote to enter any of the polls and contests. Leave your email, first and last name, and boom! You are entered for a chance to win 2 round-trip tickets to Japan for this year's Rugby World Cup. Hurry!
Tooele. Humble beginnings to unlimited tomorrows. It's a bold new day in Tooele. So much, so close. For more information, contact us at tooelevalley.org.